The worst numbers I've ever seen. How good was that? To get those numbers 4 days before the vote was. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Donald Trump was just thanking God there. You saw, well, to be clear, he was pretending to thank God because he's definitely an atheist. He doesn't believe in God. But you might wonder, well, what numbers is he talking about there? Great numbers that came right before the vote. He's saying the October jobs report had been edited down to less jobs. So there were not as many jobs made in October as we thought. And he was just thanking God for that. Because to him, obviously, America suffering is good because it helps him get into office. But he's not even a savvy enough person to keep that to himself. He's telling a crowd of people, I want the economy to suffer because I think that will be good for me. Thank God there aren't more jobs. And presumably God is looking down like, no worries. I'll just F over all of my daughters and sons, I guess. In any event, there's been a lot of promises from his side of the aisle about how bad things will become if he does become president. Most of that's been Elon Musk promising that everybody's going to suffer. But anyway, Donald Trump is dabbling in it as well. Here he is in Georgia.
We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. You watch. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so much fun. It'll be nasty a little bit at times, and maybe at the beginning in particular, but it's going to be something. And you're going to see things that you're not going to believe.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Yeah, that's sort of what I think a lot of people are worried about, that it's going to be nasty at times, and we're going to see things we're not going to believe. I think we all have a pretty good idea of how some of that might look. But anyway, Francesca, I know that we can only say this so many times, but it seems wild to me that this is as close as it is. When Harris is out there just trying to like spread the message, the economy, I have all these proposals. Donald Trump is just dimensioning his way from state to state, threatening everybody he sees with death. And it's like 48-48. What do you think?
Well, that particular comment, I think, is worth noting. The jobs report is the same BS that he's trying to undermine any kind of immigration legislation on, or he's trying to undermine a ceasefire deal and back channel with Bibi Netanyahu. But those comments of, if I'm reelected, you're going to see things that you've never seen before, and it's going to be a little rough, and it's going to be a little different. That is grooming. He is grooming us for authoritarianism, for Project 2025, for rounding people up based on their political beliefs, or if they dare protest something like genocide. He is telling us that, look, yeah, your neighbors might be taken away and questioned. You might be followed. Your periods and your pregnancies might be tracked from the CDC specifically to make sure that you didn't somehow have an abortion. Those things will happen. It's going to be hard, but don't worry. Once you say uncle and you've relented to what I'm going to impose on this country and how I've taken over all of the courts, you'll like it eventually. I mean, many of you will die. Many of you won't be here to see it. But for those of you whites, on the right who are, you're going to like it. John, this is chilling stuff. This is really chilling.
Yeah, it's like explicitly 1984.
Yeah,
it's very Picard in the Lights. And yeah, the idea that, and it's not just him, Tucker Carlson's been doing this for years, getting everyone to just, hey, don't worry, the bread will be a little bit cheaper if you give up your rights. It'll be fine. He's just convincing everyone, yes, your life will be smaller and harder and grubbier, but in return, the richest people in the country will make even more money. And your compensation will be that you will get to see the people we've convinced you to hate, trans hockey players or whatever. They'll suffer more than you are. You'll suffer, but they'll suffer more. And you accept that. There are words to describe that sort of ideology and that sort of system that they're setting up. Read some books. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.